Look, we young and we fly, don't act so surprised. We on the move and we working. We stay on the grind, Milwaukee gon' shine when we gon' move with a purpose. 414, you already know, on the way to the top and it ain't no stopping. We got the keys, we got the tea, reporting to you live with all the hot topics. 414, hey, be the Wolfpack, 25-8, we gonna get to the bag. We some youngers on a mission, and this is just the beginning. We on a whole nother level, and you know that we winning.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wolfpack 258. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf. I am in the building with one of the livest podcasts out in the world right now. I am joined by, introduce yourself.
It's E. It's Shawnee.
And the gentlemen are outside, like getting their life together and whatnot.
As always. Isn't that always a thing?
I don't know what they're doing to get their life together, but they doing that there, though. But today we are going to get into a pretty serious topic today. Today we are going to talk about mental health, but not just any mental health. We are going to talk about checking up on your strong friends. Even my computer wants to check up on the strong friends because it decided to chime in at that very moment. But we're going to go ahead and kind of wait for the guys to get here before we get into the topic. So what we're going to do is while we're waiting, let's ask the ladies, how was your weekend?
My weekend was extremely busy. I had a pop up here at the Sherman Phoenix, so I've been like just running around, getting things done. Super busy.
What you get done?
Everything you could think of, literally.
What was you selling?
Everything that you can think of. No, I had shirts, hoodies, masks, all the things, representing the brand, representing the Love Yourself movement. It was a vibe. I got a chance to meet some really, really dope people.
What started the Love Yourself movement?
Is this an interview for me right now?
I'm here now. Y'all, this is what happens when you put me on the mic.
You are totally good. I started that movement for myself initially, just wanting to be in a space to build my own confidence and start that journey of self-love.
Did you not love yourself for a while?
I'm still working on loving myself.
Well, why do you have a hard time loving yourself?
It's not easy. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just disappointed or not feeling good about myself.
And do you need to be checked on? Are you the strong friend?
See, we're gonna get into that. Keep tuning in, y'all. We're gonna get into that.
So let's just go ahead and go around the table here. How was your weekend?
This D talking. Is my mic on?
Is your mic on?
It don't sound like it is.
You don't sound like talk.
Hello.
Oh, I forgot. You soft voice. There we go.
My weekend, my week was very busy. I started
Stop breaking shit over there.
I started a new job. Thank the Lord.
Let's go ahead and give her a round of applause on that.
Got some.
I was talking to the person on the buttons.
Oh yeah, you do got the buddy.
See, you getting fired already.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass this on to the next.
I do it. But no, I started my new job, which I don't think I'm gonna like it. It's finals week, so all my college students, y'all feel me on that. So I'm
is your strong friends checking on you?
Actually, are they? We'll talk about that.
We'll talk to your strong friends about
but it's finals week, so I'm just praying that I, finish strong and keep this GPA up. That's all. That's
what's up. Let's go ahead and let's move over here to the gentleman.
They finally welcome. Hey, Jew.
Introduce yourself. Tell us about your weekend.
My weekend was pretty good.
I hear you.
I'm good. Oh, you all right? My weekend was pretty good. I mean, other than that, I had like a super bad crook in my neck.
Stop sleeping wrong, bro.
Yeah.
Stop carrying the weight of the world on your shoulder.
Strong man.
Strong friend.
Yeah.
You gotta get them jail soft pillows, dog. To kind of cool when you sleep. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro. Change your life.
Yeah, I probably got some cheap ones.
You got the feathers, don't you, bro? You gotta let the feathers go, bro. They don't do nothing for your body. They cool for the ladies, but they ain't good for your body.
What? How is this a gender thing?
Right. I like a good pillow too.
No, a good feather pillow. Sometimes they be having like the silk on it, so when y'all have y'all hair wrapped. I'm just saying. What about you, Julian?
My weekend was cool. It was chill. I've been busy with work, and then I've been coaching football lately. So
that's what's up. Your team winning? I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
I mean, we started off well.
Hey, the season's still early.
Yeah, it's still, we got time.
Okay,
we got 500 right now.
That's all that matters, bro. You make the playoffs at 500 this day and age. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into the topic. I don't know why they gave me a mic today. They asked for this.
I'm geeked.
Yeah, we loving this, y'all.
And this
Y'all
is what
better
y'all
savor
gonna
this.
get.
So today we're talking about being that strong friend. So personally, did anyone feel like they are the strong friend in any or multiple of their friendships?
I can say I'm probably a strong friend in some friendships. I know I got some strong friends that be there for me and stuff like that too, though. Because I mean, obviously, you even a strong friend be needing somebody to vent to and talk to and stuff like that. But like in certain ways, you know, you be stronger in like certain categories. Like you might have more energy, or you probably just the person that always like giving off good energy, so people be relying on you to like lift their spirits and stuff like that. So I can see that. I can see that for myself. Like sometimes I'm the strong friend in those aspects.
Me personally, I feel like a lot of my friendships are equally yoked, but me personally, just how I handle my issues and that stuff, the stuff that do occasionally come up with life, I feel like I maybe sometimes revert to just being on my own, not reaching out for help, even though I know I can. It's just the fact that we might have them friends that we know, if you ever needed something, you can always do it, but sometimes we don't. It's just the actual act of reaching out or telling somebody, hey, I'm not having the best day or week. I need some support, but it's easier said than done. So yeah, I feel like we was talking about this off camera, how the strong friend, sometimes it's on them to reach out, because if you don't know, how can you help, if that makes sense? So that's my take.
For me, I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily consider myself the strong friend, but I'm sure I do have some friends that probably would consider me that. And we can get more into this before we went live. We started talking about the topic and the whole idea of what it looks like to even reach out. Like if you do consider yourself the strong friend, reaching out to other people is not always an easy thing. Because for me personally, I've had experiences reaching out to friends and I didn't get the result that I wanted because just like they don't have the capacity to like give me the advice that I need or the support that I need. So sometimes I get in like, I overthink it and I just don't reach out at all. But I also have a very, very difficult time asking for help. Like I'm just not good at it at all. And that's something I'm working on.
I think that's like a perspective thing, so like it comes with like, I think Deshaun said like the different relationships or different situations. I think Dorian said that too. Like it depends on what relationship it is. If I'm, looking at that person, like I hit up my best friend this weekend, just like, what I'm saying, like let me pull up on you. And it's just because we ain't checked in with each other. And I think like our relationship is we strong friends to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's not like one sided, but I think that's the only relationship I kind of got like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm a strong friend in a lot of other relationships. And like with that one, I think it's like unique in a way where we can lean on each other.
What would y'all define as a strong friend? Like what is a strong friend?
A person, I feel like a strong friend is a person that you can go to for like advice or somebody to lift you up, like when you be feeling down, or like somebody that just you always feel like got the right thing to say, or they gonna say the thing that's gonna pull you through to like that next day or that next like moment that you will be down.
I think like the strong friend is like when something going wrong, it's like that one person you think of, like let me call so and so because I know she or he gonna calm me down, or you know what I'm saying, like me and Dorian, when something go wrong, me and Dorian, we call each other. He like, it's like best friend. I'm like, oh, what is it, good or bad? Like when he say best friend, guess what, I know it's good. And then he be like, best friend. When he said the best friend, it's something that happened. I'm like, what's going on? But it's like me and Dorian, I feel like we both each other's strong friend type thing. I think he lean on me some days I lean on him. He might lean on me for a month, I might lean on him for 2 months. It's kind of just like we got that understanding that if something going wrong,
them days, man.
Yeah. So
I think strong friend mean like somebody that's gonna be there for you even when they going through something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they can look outside of themselves in their own situations and still attend to you as a friend or be there as
Dang, that's facts. And listening to y'all now, I think I am the strong friend, specifically based on what you just said, Drew. It's so many times where I've had to pull myself out of a rut to be there for my friends or be there for my peers. And I'm using that term friend real loosely during this episode, really trying to like identify who are these people that I'm considering my friend and me being the strong friend to them. And it's so many times where I'm just like going through it. And if they call me, I'm still gonna answer and I'm gonna give them the advice that I need to be giving myself. Like,
Right.
so I feel that.
So I had a question. Do y'all think being a strong friend has to do with like, okay, because I think when you're the strong friend, it's like maybe you being a strong friend because the relationship is not reciprocated. Like in some aspects, do you feel like when you're the strong friend, you might have to? Y'all get what I'm trying to. I can't really say it, but it's like, do you feel like if you're the strong friend, maybe it's because the friendship is not what you think it is, maybe, or like what
Or
you
like you overextending
yourself. Maybe do you feel like sometimes a strong friend can overextend themselves or put themselves in those predicaments? You get what I'm saying? Like maybe it's I may be the strong friend with this one person because
I
of
think you asking the right way too, to like put themselves in those predicaments.
Like
that person has to be aware of how much they give and not receive.
Because you might not be aware that maybe this relationship is one-sided. It might be one-sided. It might not be. But do you feel like how do you gauge that sometimes? Because sometimes I feel like I'm a strong friend with relationships that I really don't serve me no purpose. Because I'm the one constantly giving out my advice or constantly giving my shoulder to cry on. But
maybe that's more like a mentor. Like in that sense, I feel like if you ain't going back to them and they pouring the same into you, maybe you not like really a strong friend, but more somebody they look to, like on a mentor type level. Like you always just got it put together for that.
That could be, yeah.
That's so funny because as y'all were talking about y'all definitions and going deeper into the strong friend thing, I thought about my mentor. And I was like, dang, I'm always going to her for stuff. Like, she is definitely somebody who I view as a strong, I guess I wouldn't call it a strong friend because she's a mentor, but a strong person in general who's there for everybody, always available to everybody, but be going through her own things and still have to show up for people regardless all the time. And that came to mind. I think that's a good making that differentiation between a friend and a mentor and like a therapist too, because sometimes people will come through and dump on you and just like think that's your role in their life,
Right.
and that's exhausting too.
Yeah.
What you think, Tone?
Yeah, we would. Yeah,
Dude forgot he was a part of the episode
No,
today.
this is
You ain't
not my
slick.
show.
Yeah.
This is not my show, so I can't just chime in right away. A strong friend, let me start there first. By definition, to me, is someone who's always going to keep you honest and grounded. Regardless of whether you are having a good day, bad day, whatever, they're always going to be truthful to you. If you start a situation with your significant other, they're going to tell you, dude, that was bullshit that you did. You gaslit the situation. They'll always be the one who keeps you regulated. There's the one who always will motivate you in times when you feel like you can't do this shit no more. Like, I guarantee you got a friend that you called when you were ready to quit your job and it was like, nigga, you know you can't afford to quit no job. You know, regardless, they're going to keep you realistic. But going off of what Dorian said, you can't actually make yourself be too invested in the friendship. A lot of times we look at situations and we find commonalities with that person, but instead of us feeling out the situation and realizing that they're nothing more than an acquaintance, we immediately grab them and call them friends. Now, no, not doing a gender thing. Women do it more than men will.
I was gonna say
we do.
Women will, girl, that's my best friend. That's this, that's that. And the only thing y'all have in common is y'all took Econ 101 together. You know, that's the only thing y'all really have. But y'all work together and y'all know who got fired from your team. So y'all kiki about it now. Y'all best friends. When in actuality, you know for a fact you can't trust your man around this girl. So why is she still your friend? But that's a whole nother conversation. Exactly. Y'all are quick to add that label. And I think as people, period, we're quick to add that label friend to situations where they are acquaintances. There are people we just know. They're just people from Facebook. And that's literally how we have to leave them. But we don't.
Mhm.
but it's not my show.
And you brought a great point that it reminded me, like when I was in college, I had to realize you can have friends, but like not all my friends serve the same purpose. And I had to realize that, like, I got friends that I can, when it come to taking care of business, I'm gonna call them. When they come out to going to parties and kicking it, that's who I'm gonna call. When I want to come to the library and study and I need to be chill, I got them. Not everybody. People can be multidimensional. They can fit in different categories. But I had to realize that some of my friends, they don't need to be together because when you know what I'm saying, like I had to maneuver and learn that, like, just because we friends don't mean I gotta include you in everything that I do, because maybe that's not who you are or you can't act right, and I had to be okay with that. Not saying I gotta act different in front of people or maneuver way, but it's just like if I know when it comes to being on top of your studies, that's not you. All by means, if you don't like studying, you don't care about your grades, cool. I ain't gonna judge you, but if I need to study, I'm not gonna call you. But if I know if it's time to kick it, I'm gonna call you. And I had to understand that it's okay. Like every friend that I have, it doesn't serve me in the same way, and I don't serve them in the same way. So
I was just talking recently about that part of mixing friend groups, like that, because I always think every year, especially around my birthday, like, okay, what kind of thing, because if I have a dinner, is no way I can invite all my friend groups to that dinner, because they all got different energies and different vibes, and it take one wrong person to have in the same room as another person that they just don't vibe with to mess up the whole energy. And that's what you just said made me think about that dynamic.
Yeah, I feel like you be having friends for different reasons. Like you ain't gonna like I'm not gonna go chop business with somebody that's not like on the same thing as me. I guess you just be linking with like-minded individuals or on like topics or things that you be going through. I feel like if it's something more complex, you're gonna go to somebody with more wisdom or age or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like stuff in certain areas. Like if you know one of your friends is into something or interested in a certain thing.
I'd be.
I got a friend like he a straight gamer. You know what I'm saying? And if I want to know something, like I wasn't a gamer like that in high school or like coming through college and stuff. So like I kind of recently just started getting into playing the game like that because of the quarantine in the last year. So if I needed to know anything, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to
go to your God. It's a game freak, right?
Yeah. So I feel like it's more of a like, it took me to learn that it's okay to have multiple friends, multiple friend groups, and it's okay. I don't have to mix them if I don't want to, because maybe, like you said, your friends, you got a group of friends who loud and hipping up, that like to party and real loud and outgoing, and then maybe you got another group of friends that they real chill, they don't like all that, and if you put them together, you never know. And I don't like having my friends. It just creates unnecessary drama, and I don't do drama. So that's me.
Is there a certain way to like determine your friends, like, or people that should be your friends, but like the way that they support you and like the way that they like? Would you base your relationship or the strength of your friend on like how they support you versus they support your other friends?
I wouldn't base it, but it'll be a factor, if that makes sense. Because I feel like when people think of support, like for example, your business, I can support you by buying your stuff. I can support you by telling people about your stuff, sharing your stuff. It's just the fact of what I'm doing. It don't have to necessarily be money, but it could be, if I ain't got it right now, okay, best friend, I ain't got enough to buy your hoodie, but I'm going to still share it. So it's all about the intent and like what you're doing. Because like I said, support is not always buying. It's maybe sharing it. Or if you got a flyer to posting your flyer, telling if you wearing the stuff, hey, this is my best friend stuff, check it out. Or it's just all about word of mouth, because that can get you more money than me just buying it. If I'm telling 3 people, that's 3 sales instead of me just buying it by myself. Yeah. So
it's interesting because I've also been engaged in the topic lately of like, are people basing relationships and friendships based on what another person can do for them? Like, are you gonna rule this person out as far as being your friend because they don't have the resources or the capacity to do for you what you want them to do? And that's something that I like struggle with and have been having a conversation a lot about, is just like, when it comes to our standards, are those standards based on what another person can do for you? And if they can't, is it just like, well, I don't want them in my life?
Right.
So I think maybe I get what you're saying, but like as you was talking, I was thinking like I don't really have any friendships like where I'm looking for anything back.
But
You know what I'm saying?
but that's us though. But I feel like it is some people that's just friends with you because they think they can either you gonna blow up one day and they want to make sure they included in that, or it's it could be people.
But I don't even think like she's saying like ill intent though. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just people that are like that with every relationship. Like they look at relationships that way, like
beneficial. Like
even like if they know
It's
that they can
conditional.
provide something back. You know what I'm saying? Like I get this from this person, but this is what I can offer back, and this is how we can be friends. You know what I'm saying? This is how our friendships work. So it's people that operate like that too. So it's not like they make sure it's not one sided, but they still making sure they getting something from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
and I don't think nothing wrong with that. If you equally yoked, what's the issue? But I feel like it's more of the intent. Like if it's if it's ill intent, that's where like the issues.
I mean, it's just intent in
general, yeah.
Like, cause that's what I'm saying. Like, I was just thinking, like, all my friendships, like, right now, like, all my friends, I done been friends with, like, I can't remember a time when we wasn't friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my same group of friends. Like, my cousins that's close, we still super close. Like, the same way I got my same circle. So from the start of them relationships as kids, I didn't look for any, you know what I'm saying? Like, and as we grew, that same constant has remained. Like, I don't look for anything from my friends. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Do you?
If I go a long time without getting nothing from my friends, like, I'm not.
Oh yeah, like I'm not big on like gifts.
I'm
like
not saying material things.
Or,
I'm saying like
just
them
getting
not
something
checking
out of it. Yeah,
anything. Them checking on me or like as you was talking.
You
that's
think
what I'm
that's
saying. I just thought about that.
Is that directly connected to your view on your value of yourself? Like, do you think that your value should be in a place where you like, if I'm not getting anything from this relationship, that it can be a hindrance, or thinking about like there should be some level of expectations from the people who I engage with on a consistent basis?
Thinking about it now, I think it's been situations where, like you touched on, I've been like surrounded myself with people that's like, you know what I'm saying, I got so much love for them, but I don't need to be around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's hurt me in those ways,
That's
but
real.
in other ways, like it's just kept me, I guess, like, I don't know, like my friends know my love for them is genuine and true. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they ever got to second guess that. So that's something that I can feel good about. But I don't know, like now I'm thinking like it could be a detriment because like I don't, like you said, I don't ask for help enough. You know what I'm saying? Or like I don't lean on people enough. So I think that might be something I could do better.
Somebody said something in the comments.
And I'm thinking, because I asked you that because I was asking myself the same question in my head, because I'm like, and me and you talk about this all the time. You like, it's like, sis, call me if you need something, and I wait till the last minute, like, all right, Ju, like I need help for real this time. But I'm just thinking about our interactions with people, and for me, and I also think about you, Dorian, like as us being business owners, we kind of have to be very mindful of the people that we allow in our circle, especially people we call them close friends and best friends, because you just never know people's intentions, and they intentions can be in a bad place. And I have been very naive my entire life, and so I'm at a place in my life as I'm getting older to be more cautious and mindful of that, because I'm the type of person who let everybody in, like in my, not as far as in that I'm venting to them, but I let them in my circle, and I let them, you interact with me, and be out here calling me friend or sis or whatever, best friend, and don't say nothing, because I'm just like, everybody's welcome at my table. Then I had to realize like life ain't sweet like that. As we get older and you start realizing people intentions not in the right place, all of that, I just had like I had to learn the hard way about that. And so that's kind of why I was asking you that question, like, is it like, do that come back to the value that we have on ourselves when we get to a point where we just like, like everybody's welcome. But also you made a great point saying that your friends are people who've been around forever, so it's not a new situation where you got to question their intent. Like they've been they've been a resource.
I feel like I got like two different type of day ones, like people that been down since like as long as I can remember, and like people that just like always just like I feel like had like a genuine intent since I met them. And like when I be around them, like everything be all right. So like I definitely feel like I got like a lot of friends in a mix of both, but it's like once we locked in for a minute, it's more like family, so you get to moving a little bit different. like how you be treating them. It be like second nature.
Cause it's like
wanna do
even
that.
think about this. I'm trying to realize a lot of my friends, I don't even consider them friends. Like a lot of them is family. Like Rebecca, Noah, like people that I've been with since I was probably pre-high school. Like if you pre-high school, maybe freshman year, sophomore year, at this point, you family. You know, not even just off how long we've met or long we knew each other, but just off the strength of our relationship, the stuff that we've been through together. You know, the stuff, whether I needed help in some instance of my life, whether they needed help. It's just the out more longevity, if that makes sense, of our relationship. And we have a viewer question. They say, what do you look for when you are seeking a friendship? Example, status, looks, character, style. Like what plays into part in those people you consider friends?
See, that's what. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But but some
that's what-
people you
a woman
but no,
asked that
it's
question,
real. It's
though.
some
A
people
woman
that's
asked that question.
yes, a woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's really people like if you
So
ain't got
y'all
money.
genuinely don't care.
I was gonna say because as
No.
men,
Mhm.
friends just happen.
Yeah.
Like a commonality will create a bond,
Yeah.
and that bond is what makes us kick it. Like I can tell you right now, 6 of the 8 main people I kick it with, we bonded over playing a video game. Literally.
Mhm.
Had nothing to do with status, had nothing to do with career choices, who lives with their mama, who got none of that mattered.
Mhm.
We didn't care about that. We got together 3 times a week and we played a video game together.
Mhm.
We talked about shit. We did shit. We looked out for each other. Now they my go-tos for everything.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
My boy, who's my true day one, I haven't talked to him in 7 years because life moved us in 2 different directions.
Mhm.
We bonded over a swing on the playground. Okay. So when it comes to like status and all that stuff, we don't care.
Mhm.
I know there are generations and people out here who your friendship is based on what they can do for you as well
Mhm.
as you can do for them. You want to go out here and you want to have this dinner with all these bosses and you want to say, this is my best friend, this is my homegirl. Because at the same time, if you're down and out, you want your friends to be there to look out for you.
Yeah,
But if you're making moves, you want your friends to be making moves too. But at the end of the day, that's not for everybody.
That's not the
Mhm.
reality.
that's not how everything.
Like,
Yeah.
there's 2 entrepreneurs here at the table. That doesn't mean that the other 2 want to be entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean that they're not good friends.
Mhm.
She's in college. There's going to be days where she's going to be like, fuck y'all, I got to study. That doesn't make her a bad person because she doesn't want to participate in whatever you guys are doing. That's just not her move.
Mhm.
Y'all all may one day be like, dog, I just want to sit on the couch and eat chips and watch bad movies all day. We're not going to look at you any different. We might be like, shit, I'll be there at 8. It shouldn't matter about all that extra of what determines your friends. Your friends should be, how do you feel in this space?
Mhm.
Are you safe? Are you motivated? And do you feel like whatever happens between y'all, no matter how good or bad it gets, will stay between y'all?
Mhm.
That's what really matters when it comes to friends, in my opinion.
And I agree. And I feel like when you look at those things, the things that you shouldn't be like, not saying you shouldn't, but like status or what you wear, you look for the wrong people. Because if you're looking for a person who wearing red bottoms and, you know what I'm saying, dressing designer every day, maybe
But it
they
might
care.
not be that. But have you ever stopped messing with a girl because she was too bummy though?
No, never. If I recall one of my friends didn't have no money and I helped, you know, that's how I was raised though. If one got it, we all got it. And that's how I always been. So if one of my friends ain't ever had it and they looking around, I ain't gonna make them feel less than. I'm like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you.
I think I just got a lot of trauma
And that's just
friendships
me.
and relationships around that.
You know what I'm saying? I done been in multiple situations with my friends. They had no, we out to eat and they ain't had no money, and they looking, you know, they don't want to be embarrassed. You know, you peep it and you like, I ain't even gonna do you like that. I got you, because if it was
I
me,
feel like
I'll be the
I
same
just recall
way.
like growing up, like it was like you'll have some friends that might not have as much as you,
Mhm.
but it's just like y'all are like a lot of dudes do that and was doing that in school. Like sometimes you will share a shirt, share clothes. It'd be stuff like that. I remember a lot of stuff like that growing up. Like people don't talk about it, but it definitely done happened before. Sometimes you and your brother, people be knowing your business. Like you and your brother be sharing clothes, doing all type of shit like that.
And you
But it's
never
just
know.
like nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just don't like feeling taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And I've always had the mindset that I never cared. I never, everybody, like I said before, everybody's welcome at my table.
Mhm.
And then it's so many layers. But like even thinking about my time growing up in my high school years, I spent a lot of time at Urban Underground, and I'm not like picking out no specific person,
Damn.
but I think I think
I'm gonna instigate.
no, you
Get
good.
to it.
Just thinking about those 4 years at Urban Underground, I built the most amazing friendships in my entire life. Like
Mhm.
I thought I had my people for the rest of my life. I was never gonna need no new friends. Like this was just like this is it. Like these are my people. Like I literally spent every waking moment with them. Like after school, every weekend we was kicking it together. And once I became the friend with the car, it was years of me picking everybody up after work, whatever they need, picking them up, dropping them off, taking them home. Everything was in my car. And it was like, I started to feel taken advantage of years down the line. Cause I was like, it was times I'll go, I'll get home after a long day of kicking it with my friends. I get looking at the back of my car. It's a mess. Like they got food all over the back seat and we grown at this point. So it's like, I just started to feel like taken advantage of. That was my first experience, like really feeling taken advantage of by friends and feeling like I wasn't valued. It was more about what I could do for them more than it was about like they value me as a person, want to kick it with me. I'm like, do y'all really want to kick it with me because y'all like Imani as a person or because I got a car and I can pick y'all up? And so now like the question that they ask, like it's not necessarily that I look for status or style or what they look like or anything like that, but I am mindful of like their character and their personality. Like, are you gonna be the type of person that's gonna try to leech off of me and just do like get what you can out of me, or are you gonna be genuine and you gravitating towards me as a person and not gravitating towards what I have?
And I had to go through that like when I started driving in high school. I feel like it's like a lot of stuff that everybody go through, but I feel like you need them growing pains to like, because if I didn't go through like me getting my car first and like me picking up on my friends, I wouldn't be constant like gas and making sure like my mom like, yeah, you driving, but who you got in your car? If something ever happened, you respond. You know what I'm saying? You responsible for them. So it's more of a like if I'm driving all the time, if your friend hit your hand, like I know gas ain't running off friendship. Like you got, we young, you for real. Like gas
that
is
shit expensive.
that's been expensive. Like if you taking your friend to work every day, or you know what I'm saying, hit their hand, or it's what doing what you can. Like you don't got to pay them every time because we friends. I'm doing it off the love, but if you know I'm always
I
doing
feel like
something,
the people that's just your friends, they just offering, they be
offering,
helping.
yeah, because they know if it was them, they would want somebody to offer. If I'm taking you everywhere, if you taking me everywhere, I'm gonna throw your hand with a little gas money. Because if it was me, I wouldn't expect it, but it's always appreciated. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the thought, like you taking me somewhere, so of course I'm gonna repay what I can, type of thing.
Yeah.
So
we got a comment that says if you don't set boundaries with people, they'll take advantage and have you resenting them.
And that's
been my
definitely
experience
true.
in relationships
Definitely
and
true.
friendships.
And she said you need friends that will offer and friends that won't even ask. Read that again. You need friends that will offer and friends that won't even ask. So you definitely do.
And I'm the type of friend that like, so for instance, Darren is my best friend for like people in Milwaukee or people who know that. Like Darren is my closest friend ever. And we have a very clear understanding. There has been years where it was years when he didn't have a car and like everything he needed, I was there. He could call me and I'm there to drop it a hat. We went grocery shopping together. We did laundry together, everything because I was just available as a friend. But as soon as he got his car, anything I needed, he was there. Even though I had a car, he was there. If I needed a ride somewhere, if I wanted to go grab something, if I wanted to go to the grocery store, he provided every ride because he like all these years you had my back and you came through for me. I'm gonna reciprocate that same energy. And for me at this point, it's about reciprocating energy and thinking about the spaces that we in. Like even I had a conversation with him a couple weeks ago. And I think we both a strong friend for each other. But we were talking about, the whole election process and everything like that. And I had to be up early in the morning for work. But I sat and I drove with him and listened to him talk. And we had a great conversation. And I was just there as a friend. And I feel like I didn't get home to 3 o'clock in the morning. But at the end of the day, those sacrifices that you make for your friend because you know they'll do the same thing for you in return. Those are the type of friendships that I like. Are like it's imperative that I build those kind of friendships at this age because I feel like as we get older, we just don't have time to waste on one-sided friendships or people taking advantage of us. Like we not in high school no more. Like those are those experiences that it's like okay, you can look back and like I learned from that. But the older we get, it's like okay, how much longer are we gonna have to keep learning from that kind of situation?
And I'm in the process was just like some people like, and I feel like a lot of us have an issue like. This generation now, a lot of us, we grew up before. Like I grew up in the middle of technology, if that makes sense. Like I was there before it, and I seen it develop, and I used it. I'm not pre all of that. So, just saying, shut up, Drew. Shut up, Drew. Before I forget what I was about to say. Dang, Drew, you didn't throw me off.
My bad.
It's all love though. It's all love though. Y'all go ahead. See, look, Drew.
You
There.
were saying before the
No, you're not
technology.
Like, see, look, you did. I didn't even get it out. Like, I didn't even get it out. But basically, I was trying to say is,
I'm a little late on the buttons.
yeah, I see the cricket.
I tried to.
No, it came in nice.
All right, cool.
I think it's just multiple ways to keep in contact with people. Like
Okay, like you said, I remember now. I'm in the process of learning that just because we've been friends for years, don't mean we gotta stay friends. If that makes sense. Now, it don't mean that's bad blood. Something that happened, we got beef, but maybe we not serving each other in the right. Maybe my purpose to serve you as a friend is expired. Maybe you not in that same place, or I'm not in that same place, and you got to elevate. Like as you elevate in life, you gonna lose some of them people that you don't need, and we have to sometimes accept that because you can keep holding on to somebody, keep holding on, and you ain't supposed to be friends with them. Now you then got up into something else, or you got put in this predicament, all because you didn't take that sign, take that lesson from God. Like, okay, maybe this friendship no longer serves me, but you trying to hold on to something that ain't there. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've have to learn, like a lot of my friends, ain't no hard feelings, ain't no ill will. I wish you nothing but the best. But right now, what I'm trying to do and what you're trying to do, we gonna end up on separate paths. So I just gotta accept that and move on.
Yeah, I feel you. Sometimes you just be. Sometimes I feel like sometimes it's common that you and one of your friends probably being a strong friend at the same time. So it's like it just be hard to pour your problems, still be pouring your problems on top of other people. But sometimes you just be feeling like you need that outlet and stuff like that too. I feel like a lot of people just be bottling their emotions in and stuff like that, and they just be pouring them out to whoever feel like who can listen right away. Yeah. But
what you said just made me think about like how hard friendship breakups are. Like sometimes they be just as hard as relationship breakups, but when you have to make that mature decision, like this is not working no more. Or like I think Tone was saying, he got a friend he hasn't talked to for 7 years, but that was his day one friend. Like that's a hard pill to swallow, but it's also a mature decision that has to be made.
What about so we know how friendships, you got them good friends, you got them bad friends, but like how do you feel about like making, because a lot of people like in 2021 or in 2020 with this COVID pandemic, we've been losing a lot of people, and we've been conversation of giving people their flowers while they here has been like a constant topic. And I want to think like, how do y'all feel about giving y'all friends their flowers, or like in what ways can we give our friends their flowers, and what ways can people give us flowers, and overall opinion on that
That's
topic.
a good question. I definitely think it's so important for us to show that we appreciate people. Like, if you got that person who constantly showing up for you, constantly pouring into you, constantly answering your call when you're going through it, those are the people you need to, like, even if it's just like, can I get you coffee today? Or can I, grab lunch for you today? Like, I've had a friend before just randomly text me, like, what you getting for lunch today? Okay, cool. Here's $10. Like grab your lunch. And I was just shook. I was like, whoa, like for real? Like, you never know, like just unexpectedly kind of stepping in. Don't have to be monetary, like Drew was saying earlier.
It's nice being a woman.
No, you can legit.
My friends do not text me.
Maybe you can be that friend. Maybe
Hey,
you can be that friend.
Look.
But also, like, it don't have to be monetary. Like pulling up, like Drew, let's go for a walk on your lunch break.
That's where I appreciate and love my friends. Like, hit me up on some. If it's random, like just chilling, hanging out, or you know what I'm saying. I got one, like my best friend, love to like go look at art and go to museums and stuff, just like I do. Like I got a friend, like I was telling you, was like I didn't know guys did that.
I
together.
did it. I was like, y'all go to the museum.
We both like art, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like why not? So it's just like different little stuff like that for me. For sure.
Yeah, I definitely I feel like just saying it too, or saying it and showing it.
Yes, that's facts.
I feel like that definitely is a big start. And then like Imani said, it's just little things that that possibly can make people's days better or easier. You can just try to reach out and help them do as well.
I agree. I feel like with like giving your flowers, I feel like it should be based off the person, because like you said, me giving you money versus me taking you somewhere that I know you like it might hold a different, and if I know that's something that you would not prefer, but it will bring more joy, or that's hold more weight. Let's just say, if I know me doing this versus this gonna make a difference, I would do that type of thing. Like one of my friends, she surprised me, because I'm big on family. Like everybody know I'm big on family. So when I was away for school, I couldn't go home. And she helped plan my mom to come visit me for one of my ceremonies. And like that right there, she ain't spent a dime, didn't do nothing, but just off the, she just knew, you know what I'm saying, how close me and my mom was, and how we was missing each other, that she helped my mom plan that. And it wouldn't have went through because she was the only person that knew my schedule throughout the day, So like the surprise was like priceless. Like that was the most like nicest thing that one of my friends had ever done for me. And she didn't do nothing. Really, honestly, she really didn't do nothing but help my mama coordinate. Yeah. But she didn't have to do that. But
it's like the little
thing, like the little things. It was just
she paid attention enough to know that's what you want.
Right. And my mama knew, like, okay, that's one of her closest friends. Let me reach out to her. And she kept the secret for like almost a month. And I'm shook. Like, I had no idea, like, at all. And it was just the best feeling in the world, for real. So
I do got, a homegirl that throw me. She my homegirl, you know what I'm saying? We real tight. Shout out to you. I ain't gonna say your name. She throw me them stamps every now and then.
Oh yeah.
So
for sure. For sure.
Saying that's monetary.
I want to sign up for that friend.
Okay.
There's an application for that friendship.
Oh no. That's just my friend.
She a plug for real. That's a good friend. That's a good friend for real.
Them plug friends.
Yeah. But no, like. Couple times I had to reach out to Dorian to even get to the podcast. Like,
I know I had to reach out to all of y'all a couple times just everything.
Yeah.
Like, you just be going through it, and y'all older, and it'd be easy. Like y'all my big brothers and sisters. So I mean, like having that family like vibe here, like every day we not always up to it. Kinda,
like even today, you reached out and was like you needed help. I'm like, all right, I ain't doing nothing bad. I got you.
That's why
I like the family aspect. We all kind of like we pitch in what we can type of thing.
So I think y'all think that's a big thing on being friends too, is like being understanding. Because I think that's why we work and how we've been able to like keep growing in our groupness and our friendship.
Because like as a group, we still trying to fit everybody.
We are trying to fit everybody together, but like we understand,
like we all
got you got this, and you got this. You know what I'm saying? I think like that's important in friendships. Like
we take
you might not agree, or like you might not, like you said, like you might have friends you disappointed they not taking school serious or whatever the case may be. But
I can't.
You ain't gonna knock them. You understand?
Like that's your decision, and you gotta take it. Like sometimes you can't take other people's problems and make them your own. Like. I'm learning that we grown. Like a lot of stuff, we can't make excuses for ourselves. Like I got stuff that I need to do, so I can hold your. I can hold your hand and help you. But if you not gonna do it, what me doing it? So it's just trying to be there and be understanding for the next person, because we all got stuff.
You can only help who want to be helped.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
For sure.
I was just looking at
that was a good
listening to a podcast a little earlier. And they was talking about like why men don't vent to themselves more, or like what I'm saying, like how women are kind of like y'all will have a glass of wine or just chill or just be on FaceTime and just be talking about go from one topic to the next one, like just straight venting, like, and why men don't vent. You know what I'm saying? Or like
I need self-care like, too.
Yo, bro, this will happen today. You know what I'm saying? I feel this way about it. This and this. Like we don't really do that.
I feel like y'all do. Y'all should.
I feel like I do.
We do it. It's called a barbershop.
But I don't go to the barbershop. My
then you missing out on all that.
Not moms. Okay.
That's why you missing out. No, honestly, men don't do it on a one-on-one basis. If it's not a major effect. Like we don't vent to our boys about our girl unless we getting ready to make a major decision about either going the next step or she got to go. Because we know our boys is going to tell us what we need to hear, so we're not ready for that. But for everyday stuff, we supposed to be men and we man up and we just take care of it. We don't talk amongst that. Like and I'm not saying that's right.
No, it's not.
But that's what we've been taught. When you don't
handle that stuff, it goes into other areas of your life, whether you intend for it or not. So I feel like.
Why am I so loud?
I don't think I'm loud.
But I feel like y'all, like as men, y'all need to be more vulnerable y'all, because I feel like every man, like you got a friend that you know if something ever go wrong, you can call him,
I
right?
feel like in a way, like you gonna vent to like your brother or something, like not always, but like iron sharpen iron. So I feel like you definitely like he might be able to share something with you that'll get you through that. So I definitely be venting to like my brothers or people that's like I feel like going through the same thing as me, like or
And that's
at that
good.
time.
And I know I feel like maybe you feel I don't. It's different ways
I mean,
to.
but it's like I guess it's a level of trust too.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you know, like you don't be wanting to just vent like with
Anybody. Yeah, that is true.
Also, you got to take consideration. Men vent to women more than we vent to men. Like we will tell a female
Facts.
friend more of our internal problems than we'll tell another man.
Why?
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Why is
and
that?
how
though?
Tone said like everyday stuff, or like you know what I'm saying, like how I just said like it could be something that happened today. Like I'ma just think in my head like, bro, that happened. Like you just got to deal with it and keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I'm not gonna even think to express it to anybody. Like it's just gonna stay in.
But if you
And
keep
I don't
doing-
really understand myself.
And I get that, but like you keep doing that, you dealing with stuff, or you putting stuff aside that you're not really dealing with, and then it's like you got more and more and more. And now you piled up, and you got all this stuff that if you would have dealt with it, probably when it happened, maybe you get what I'm saying. Like sometimes some stuff needs to be dealt with, and I feel like
And
not.
I get what you saying.
And men, I feel like men don't have those resources, or they don't feel comfortable.
And you know what? That's exactly what it is. Society doesn't make it seem that men have those resources.
Mhm.
I can go on Facebook right now and I can see tons of women support groups. I can see tons of women bigging up each other. I can see women working together who don't even know each other.
Mhm.
Like there was at least 12 pop-up shops that happened this weekend,
Mhm.
all done by women, catered towards women.
Mhm.
Whereas, and I got a friend who wants to create a pop-up shop for men, and we get maybe 3 or 4 responses.
Mhm.
Men just don't look outside for too much help, and we don't look to other men because of toxic masculinity.
Mhm.
Just plain and simple.
Yeah.
The way that the man mind works is if I'm vulnerable to another man about something, and this is not somebody I consider my brother, I look weak. I'm a beta male in that case in point.
Mhm.
And you never want to be a beta around another man.
Mhm.
Because whether they intentionally do it, you're
Mhm.
always going to get hoed. Regardless. Even if it's just jokingly.
Mhm.
Like the one friend who shows his soft side will always be the first friend that gets ribbed when everybody's together.
Mhm.
We do it just out of instinct. It's not that we don't love him any less, but because of that one moment we show vulnerability,
Mhm.
it becomes the butt of the joke of our friends and it becomes a weapon to women. Because how many times have men and women gotten to an argument and the woman immediately goes to that man's vulnerability to win the argument?
That's true.
So men don't share like they want to, or like you say we should, because society doesn't make it possible for us to share.
Okay, I like that. So, what can we, as women, me speaking, and when other men, what are we able to do to combat that? Because at this point, we already know toxic masculinity is it's nothing but getting worse. Especially with social media and what we see in the internet and the news, it's not getting better. So, what can we?
The toxic masculinity
Mhm.
Aspect of like
Yeah.
working with men or talking to men reminded me of like Imani bringing up the Twitter spaces.
Mhm.
So like I was in a couple spaces and I was like when I started to just listen, like I noticed niggas that was like trying to talk over other niggas to impress girls.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Or like or like just show other men up, like in all the other women, like it was just straight conversation. Like you could disagree with another woman as a woman, but like y'all just like having a conversation for what it is. Like for the men, it's always trying to show the next one up. Whether even if you agree, like I'm gonna get my point on
literally.
Like,
and y'all saying the same exact thing,
Yeah.
and that's such a good point that you bring up space because I don't know if you remember the one in particular
I was
when
like,
we
these
first
niggas
started.
is lame.
It was
So
one
that's
where
why I
they was
ended
like
up-
Oh,
going,
that's Clubhouse.
they was going in, arguing like wild, crazy, and it was this young lady on there, and she was sharing her experience, but she was like going in on the men, and they was all taking it so personal. They was getting so mad, and I had to turn everybody mic off because I was the host, and I was like, y'all, just everybody take a deep breath, and can we just let her vent for a second? Because clearly at this point is she's venting. So if y'all can just take yourself out of the picture for a second, let her vent and say what she got to say. And after that happened, and after they actually let her say what she had to say without like nitpicking everything that she said, they were able to like settle down and realize like, okay, she got a lot of hurt, a lot of trauma. She was just talking about, you know, her experience with her baby's father and stuff like that. Like it was just so many layers that she was taking out on the men. But I'm like, sometimes you just gotta let people say what they gotta say and remove yourself from it. Don't take it personal. I'm not saying that her actions were okay, but they wasn't getting nowhere, yelling at her and arguing back and forth, and the men was trying to talk over, you know, each other and trying to like be the first one to prove her point wrong. Like it was just a mess. But that whole situation was crazy, and just sometimes it's important to realize like where people are mentally, and they just may need that space to vent, get it off their chest. Yeah.
Everybody got quiet.
I know.
That was funny.
I'm reading comments and stuff. Yeah.
No, but just piggybacking off what you're saying, people do need to vent, but the problem is people need to learn how to communicate. Just like having a conversation with your friends compared to getting on a podcast, people need to understand that different scenarios need to have different types of ways you communicate. So like when you ask the question, how do we combat that and how do we go around that?
It's not one
regular communication is the only thing that you really need to do. Like regardless of if someone's feeling a certain way or someone's in a good mood or a bad mood, regular conversation. One thing that I used to always love that my mom and my stepdad did was regardless of what was going on, they had coffee talk. Okay. In the morning, 10, 15 minutes, they just sat down and talked. Whether one of them was venting about something or they were planning out the day or they were just expressing or talking about some crazy ass show they seen on TV. 10, 15 minutes a day of just regular conversation. It takes a big load off of you. But all you doing is just having small conversations with either your significant other, your best friend, or your peoples. Men need to have somebody who we can do that with. So women don't always assume that every guy that's trying to be your friend wants to be more than just your friend. Sometimes we just really need a friend. You know what I'm saying? Also, another problem is we need to stop broing and sissing everybody. Like, just like you said, your best friends are not friends to you because they're family. That's because people who we're calling friends are not really our friends, but our acquaintances. And people who we just, I know them from such and such is acceptable because everybody adds somebody they don't know on Facebook. So we actually need to scale back and reevaluate who we are actually giving our energies to. Let's do that first. I don't care if we had Econ 211 together when this class is over with. I don't know you. You know, you have to keep that kind of energy and that kind of pace. Then when you do meet someone who genuinely has something you're interested in, now you can have that space to invest in them. Now you can have that concern and care about what they're bringing to the table or even what's going on with them. Also, you got to protect your own energy. Like I don't know what it is about me, but people come and open up like I'm fucking Barbara Walters about their problems. Like I don't even be doing nothing. It's like, Tom, can I talk to you about this? And I actually let them because I don't know. You could be 5 seconds away from shooting your baby daddy. I need look.
That's extreme.
You never know.
You rarely never know.
You seen my story? Like, no,
you never really know.
I'm walking outside.
But sometimes you got to give people that space. Just let them vent and don't really even, care too much, but don't let them dump everything. Tell them it's like, what's going on? I got like 5 minutes. What's on your mind? And let them know you only have 5 minutes. And I'm for real. Because they'll start off talking about how they baby daddy didn't pick up their son. And next thing you know it, you invited Thanksgiving dinner. Like, look here. I just want you to know that this is not what this is. Did you get that out your system? Are you good? I got a counseling center right across the hallway. I can grab one of their cars for you.
Even be in them type of situations.
Nah, bro, you don't understand. People will walk in. Tom, can I talk to you?
Yeah, you down here. That's
No, that's his life. Period,
The
dog.
point you made about, because like for me, I feel like I have a lot of male friends for that reason, because I make myself accessible and available to their challenges and issues that they feel like they can't talk to other guys about, or just being that like extra, or being able to give them that women's perspective as well is something that I realized that I've built some solid friendships around. And I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing, that having those connections and building those friendships with the opposite sex, because they can give you a different perspective and they can give you something that you may not have looked at that way. And when Tone was talking about that, I started to think like, dang, I actually do have a pretty like decent group of, and then now y'all talking about the difference between friends and associates. I don't even know if I would call all of them friends, but it's a bunch of dudes in my contacts that can call me right now if they needed advice on something, whether it's business advice, advice with their girlfriends, or where they should take somebody on a date. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and with Tone, like what you said, I feel like that's a lot of boundaries. Like, you can give people that space to come to you, but you gotta give them boundaries as well. And I agree with that. But my perspective on like toxic masculinity, what is it? Toxic masculinity. Just me personally, I have a lot of boy cousins. Like I'm out of my family, I'm the youngest girl. I'm the oldest girl, the only girl. So a lot of my cousins are male. So, and honestly, a lot of my male cousins, I'm the only female that they feel like they can really talk to, and just having that one person, not me specifically, but just having a person that you can go to when you feeling down as a man and not feel judged, I feel like it's important. Like a lot of my friends and my male friends, I'm usually the one female that they can come to and tell all their business, and I'm not going to make them feel less than. I'm going to give them that female perspective. I can give them this perspective of mine because I'm a female. I can't give them the male perspective, but I'm going to give them the best advice that they can. And I cherish that. I'm proud to know that I got some male friends in my life, or male cousins or whatever, that have that safe space, because a lot of them don't. A lot of black men don't got nobody they can talk to.
So before we wrap it up, because it's getting close to y'all getting the hell up out of here, let me back up. Did y'all ever answer Simone's question?
Why is it important to check on your strong friends
versus
all like your other friends?
That's a good question.
All right. So let me dive in, because I'm always a strong friend. By the definition of strong friends that we've given today, it's important to check up on them, because under normal circumstances, most people don't. That's really why. Of course, you're going to always check up on all your friends, but in most cases, your friends will always bring your problems to the strong one. That's part of the reason why they're called the strong friends. So if this person is getting everything, they're getting the weight of their everyday problems plus whatever you're bringing to them, all on their shoulders at one time. A lot of times our strong friends smile through pain. They work through pain. They carry the workload. They are the entrepreneurs of the group who just know that shit just got to get done. They sometimes won't even give up responsibilities that they know they need to delegate to other people. So we do have to check on them, because if we don't, they'll be the ones that'll be in the hospital and everybody be like, oh, I never knew nothing was wrong. Well, because the last time you talked to her, you were more concerned about how you're going to pay your car note next month. And you never once stopped to ask, well, how are you doing? So that's why, in my opinion, it's important to check on them. I mean, yeah, you should check on all your friends, but the one person you've been to every once in a while, just call and just check on them, and don't bring them none of your problems. Let them have that moment.
We can identify that person if we're not actually, absolutely clear. Like,
usually the strong friend is the person who almost never tells you anything.
Or you think they don't have nothing going on. Right. They don't want you like, oh, they good.
You can't think that, or you just don't know anything that's going on with you. Or like, dang, I don't know what's going on with you, or like I don't know your business, or like feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or they're the ones that are always busy.
The ones that's too busy. That every time you look up, she got something else going on. She doing this. He like, dang girl, you killing it. But maybe
y'all check on them people.
I do too. But it's the one
How
that
you doing? Are you okay? Let's check up on
you. We got you.
You need some help. You want to carry your shirt for you next time?
I told you I need a job.
We'll talk about it. No, you have a job. You just don't want that job. That's the difference.
Oh, my supervisor not tuned in.
We on the new job hunt.
We just want you promoted. That's all.
That's it. She needs
better
to be
pay, less hours.
New money.
Y'all speaking my language.
I'm with it. We new job gang.
I'm speaking
Good
all
friend,
prosperity
I'ma
on
take
all
some
of
notes
us.
from your book.
Okay. I'm speaking
I'm actually
prosperity.
surprised you ain't got your computer with you today.
You know what? With it
laptop.
being finals week,
You just didn't want to look at it no more.
Oh, man.
I'm
Ain't
trying
mad
to get through this week and then be done. This semester has been a semester for real. Like for real. Like this been one of my hardest semesters in college. Like I'm a junior. I graduate next May. So
Okay.
just pushing through.
2022, taking trips all over the place.
Finishing up this,
Yeah.
this
So
semester.
accounting ain't easy. So I'm just
Oh, I
trying
know. I did a little bit and quit and said, fuck this shit. I'm out. No, real talk. I was supposed to be an accountant. I was like, no, this ain't for me, bro.
Yeah. So
I
What's
quit.
everybody's one takeaway for
I
our
sure was getting ready to
audience
say that.
before we leave up out of here and get out of town face? What y'all got to say to the audience?
You'll be back.
I feel like I need to be a better friend to some people.
I feel like I need to call and reach out because I'm more of the like hit me up if you need me type of friend. Like I'm not really present, and I can say in all my friendships, I'm not present every day, every week, every month. So I feel like maybe when I finish school and I finish, that's one of my biggest priorities right now. But once I finish that, I'm gonna have more time. So maybe taking out that time. If I'm on my way to work, let me call so and so. We can have a 15-minute conversation just to check in. Doing more check-ins is something that I want to do more to my friends and my people. Just because you never know. I could be like, dang, if I thought about you today, God forbid something happened about you on Friday, if I would have took the time to call you, if something ever happened, I'll be knowing in my heart that I checked up on you. Just stuff like that. You never know what can happen. So just making sure I check up on my people before it's too late. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go back and listen to this episode and take my own advice and take y'all advice because I think there's portions of this episode where I felt like, dang, I'm the strong friend. I really need to create space for me to not always be the strong friend, and I also need to think about those people in my life who I'm constantly connecting with, but not creating space for them to. But I'm usually the listener. Like I'm always the listener. I can't even think of very few. I can think of very few people that I call and vent to, and most of the time it's them calling me like I haven't heard from you in a while. Like let's talk. Like you got anything going on you need to talk through. So, but yeah, I'm a listen back and I'm gonna take y'all advice.
Me too.
I kind of I think I need like in one aspect to like be open more. So like I've allowed my friends to, be able to come to me or like I don't like not use me in a bad way, but like use me as a friend and be, me be open to be there for them. So I gotta allow them to be there for me more. And yeah, I get like too. I guess that would mean like also like being more honest when my friends do check on me. It's not just saying.
No, I feel like downplaying. I do a lot of downplaying. Like I'd be like, yeah, I'm good, knowing I'm stressed the hell out. So
that's a big part of it because like you can't say people not checking on you when they is,
and you
not being honest about what you're going through, or like you're open and sharing. So I think that's where I can improve.
I know we wrapping up, but we also have to acknowledge that like even sometimes you do reach out and you don't get the outcome, or they end up just still venting to you and telling you all their problems when you try to tell.
And then you
I've
need to take
experienced
note.
that a lot,
And
like,
you do. And then when that does happen, you need to take note. If you reaching out to somebody and they constantly bringing up them, you need to take a mental note. Like, okay, I see. No against them. Maybe they too wrapped up in their own type of thing.
Like me, I don't be caring.
But I mean, if I ever I'm the type of person. If I reach out and then it don't go how I want it to go or how I think it should, I might not reach out again. You get what I'm saying?
That's
so
me.
That's just me. Because it took a lot.
I gotta say, like, I got a couple friends where I know, like, it's strictly I need to get this out because it's not gonna go to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't even gotta really touch base on it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just let them vent. So like, it'd be situations like that too.
Yeah, definitely. But I wish all of our viewers success with their friendships. I hope that we sparked a dialogue that maybe some friendships
hit your friend that you have not talked to in the, you know what I'm saying, your real friends. We're not saying associates. We're not saying shorty you work with who you've been working with for 3 years and y'all see each other every day. Your real friends. Check on them. Genuinely, ask how they doing. See about them.
And if you ain't got no friends, that don't mean nothing either. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Maybe you had eliminated a lot of people out your circle who weren't there, and that's okay.
Also, and this is my last takeaway, stop taking everything personal. Just because you ain't heard from your friend in a week, or your friend don't feel like sitting there listening to you bitch and moan about what happened on Real Housewives last night, don't take that shit personal.
Or ain't got the time.
Right.
Mhm.
Sometimes
They got
people
kids.
sometimes
Everybody
people
got their own
actually
shit.
do have shit they gotta do, and you just not top priority in that moment.
And they might not have an explanation. You might not get an explanation. So
And you don't do, and you're not supposed to.
yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, people,
So that means respect your friend.
respect your friends, respect their boundaries, and
They
stop being
time.
that nigga.
Yeah.
Don't be that nigga.
Thank y'all for listening. We hope that this conversation helped y'all. Maybe put some people in your ear that you need to reach out. And we
got
love y'all.
Something
Real
real
good.
special for y'all.
Next week.
I'm
Coming next
not
week.
gonna be on the episode.
Unfortunately.
This is not
But
my
no,
show.
we want to talk about some real serious stuff and get into the nitty gritty. So next week, y'all make sure y'all tune in. And we out.
See y'all. Love y'all. Peace.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace. Love, peace, prosperity.